Muscle building and maintenance for space explorers and colonists. There used to be other intelligent hominids on this planet. These cousins of humanity had bigger brains than we do, and they were physically stronger than us in every way. Some of them had 3 times our muscle mass and more than double our bone density. But these branches of the evolutionary tree came to an end, and we alone survived. Why? What did we have that they did not? The evidence seems clear that modern humans have gone through at least one, but possibly 2 bottlenecks in the not-too-distant past. About 70,000 years ago, the facts indicate that something wiped out most of the modern human species and set the others on a road to extinction. Only a few thousand humans survived. What did we have that our stronger cousins did not? I think there was a mass starvation event. The Toba volcano had a massive eruption around that time. It could have darkened the skies for more than a year, causing an instant ice age, killing plants and animals everywhere on Earth. We like to say survival of the fittest, but this is not accurate in its common meaning. Natural selection does not always choose the strongest or the fastest or even the smartest. The organism with the minimum traits necessary to survive will survive and propagate. All those muscles and bone mass and those massive brains took a lot of calories to fuel. I believe that these ancestors who faded into the night had a much lower level of a hormone called myostatin than do modern humans. Myostatin is a hormone that causes human muscles to go away. That is a strange thing for an organism to have. Tigers don't have muscles that go away. You never see a grizzly bear in the gym, but they are stronger than any human could dream of being. In fact, the little chimpanzees you see in the zoo are 7 times stronger than an average adult human male. Roll that around your brain a little. Humans, though possessed of great endurance, have the weakest muscles, kilogram for kilogram, than just about any other species on Earth. What possible benefit could there be for a species to hardly be able to fight their way out of a paper bag? Simple. We can survive indefinitely on only 40% of our usual caloric intake, and there is some evidence that this type of calorie restriction diet can actually extend our lives. We seem to go into a famine mode, where we break down unnecessary muscles, lower our metabolism, and possibly extend our lifespan during times of low food availability. The reason almost all modern humans have to constantly exercise to keep our muscle and avoid fat is because those genes are responsible for our ancestors' survival. One of the problems is we don't have a deficit of calories now. Our advances in agricultural technology allow us to have much more than we need to be healthy. The question is, what will happen to space explorers who go into space for long periods of time in zero or low gravity? These explorers will be the least exercised humans in the world. Not even gravity to give their hearts something to do. Fluid that normally stays in the legs is under pressure from the muscles around arteries to keep blood from pooling in our legs when we stand or run. These systems continue operating in low gravity, causing fluid to build up in the upper body and head. This extra fluid can cause headaches, nausea, increased intracranial pressure, and pressure in the eyes, damaging vision. In fact, I believe SpaceX should start recruiting veterans and other qualified candidates who have suffered double leg amputations to crew the Starship on its way to Mars. These men and women would be ideally suited for zero-gravity environments, as upper body strength does not deteriorate as fast as lower body strength does in zero gravity. They would have lower caloric demands, and since there should be handholds to brachiate on a ship, legs would just get in the way anyway. This would be a wonderful opportunity for many very qualified and intelligent candidates. For everyone else, we need to get really good at resistance training. I have always thought that pressure cylinders should be used in space for exercise. The pressure could be built up and used to power a small generator, creating an energy credit. In an emergency, the batteries for the life support systems and emergency communications could be powered manually if a catastrophe took out the other power systems. So what is the best way to keep muscles strong? Resistance training. Nothing beats lifting weights and pushing a muscle to its limits. To avoid injury, there should only be incremental changes in the mass lifted. Never try to see how much you can lift. You can easily strain or tear a muscle or tendon. Work every muscle group at least every 3 days. Start with compound exercises. Deadlifts and overhead press with low to moderate weight are good. You can also do squats with low to medium weight, but never try to work your legs to their limit with squats. Use a leg press or leg extension. Your back can never survive the amount of weight it would take to adequately work your legs. Then go to muscle isolation exercises like biceps, triceps, etc. Diet is the next important factor in maintaining muscle mass and overall health. If your diet is low in protein, you will start to catabolize your muscles to make other proteins. This means they will break down. Many of my friends have suggested that everyone will, by necessity, be vegan on the moon and Mars. I do not believe this is the best idea. In fact, with limited food resources, it is imperative that we develop micro-ecosystems. There will be a course coming up on food selection and production in space, but suffice it to say that insects, chicken eggs, and fish will be a big part of it. Let's just say that the quality of protein intake can have a huge effect on muscle retention. So we have hard exercise and good nutrition. What else can we do? It turns out we can suppress the myostatin production of the body. We can give an antibody to block myostatin, and in mice, this causes a rapid 20% increase in muscle mass. These antibodies could be given on long-duration, low-gravity missions to prevent muscle loss. Some, like Lab, are artificial antibodies that block myostatin and have the same effect. Others, like ACVR2B, are not antibodies. They mimic a natural binding protein of myostatin and bind it out of the bloodstream. Care must be taken because when you put on muscle mass without the usual resistance training, the tendons have not been strengthened and injury risk increases. Yoga, stretching, and isometric exercises will need to be a big part of this treatment. Follistatin is a protein that naturally blocks the effects of myostatin, but it also blocks some other active hormones that may have other long-term effects. The direct inhibition of myostatin seems to work well with few side effects, and scientists have found a way to genetically modify yeast to produce a myostatin antigen that stimulates your natural antibodies like a vaccine. Taking this as an oral pill would usually cause a permanent reduction in your myostatin levels and increase muscle mass and prevent low-gravity wasting. People in the future may be genetically engineered to produce lower levels of myostatin so they stay naturally strong. Just make sure the food supply is good. All those extra muscles require extra calories. Without myostatin, the body's famine response is suppressed, and people will starve faster. We don't want to go the way of our stronger ancestors. This course on space medicine is from the Terran Space Academy and is designed to prepare you for a future in the space industry. Stay safe and thanks for listening.